Friday, and good morning, West Michigan. I'm Emily Scarlett.
And I'm Tanner Holbrook. Thank you so much for waking up with us and watching on 13 Plus. Boy, did you hear that wind last night?
Oh my goodness. I mean, it was really shaking things up for us.
Yeah.
I was trying to sleep at the time, and
Me
I'm like,
too.
what is happening?
Yeah, there's something like right outside my bedroom window that kept hitting the side of my window, and I'm like, what is going on out there?
Intense.
That is largely kind of pushed on though, right?
Yes, we are still a bit breezy this morning, but the strongest of wind conditions, temperatures upper 20s today through Sunday. So we won't have a ton of fluctuation in terms of our temperature trend itself. As we play throughout our hour by hour forecast, we had something really interesting kind of play out with this system, and we're still watching it closely. It does create a little layer of uncertainty with it, but earlier this week we noticed the fusion of these two systems. We have a system to the north and a system to the south, and that's why we were seeing such widespread dense snow in initial model runs. But watch as these remain as two separate systems now, giving this beautiful, perfect little unfortunate for forecasting gap right over the greater Grand Rapids region. So yes, we're still expecting heavy, wet, dense snow to the north. We are still expecting a wintry mix to the south. These two systems, though, as of right now, are anticipated to remain separate. And if that stays that way as we head throughout the day today and into tomorrow, chances are we will likely have very little snowfall the closer that you get to the 94 corridor. So here's a glance at our first forecast in terms of how much snow you should expect. Yeah, I get you got the winter blues, but we have to relax somewhat here. 53 miles per hour, that's how strong the winds were in Grand Rapids last night. 55 in Muskegon, 61 in Holland. What we're going to see happen throughout the day today is our winds relax some, but we still have some gusty conditions this morning, up to 25 to 30 mile per hour northwesterly winds. We see that drop down significantly throughout our daylight hours today and into the afternoon. In terms of our temperatures, 15 in GR this morning, 13 in Big Rapids, and 18 in Muskegon. As we head throughout the day today, we hang on to the teens and 20s. Up this morning, and we're like, what was that last night? Those strong winds, 53 miles per hour in Grand Rapids, 43 in Fremont, and 61 in Holland. Those were very strong winds. We are already starting to see them subside quite a bit. North of 96, sustained at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Still south of 96, breezy outside. We will continue to see those winds calm throughout the day today, settling up for a much quieter Friday afternoon than yesterday. Temperature-wise this morning, it is cool outside. It's snow coming down from 4 p.m. for our northern zone, continuing on until around 8 o'clock at night before this system starts to clear the area. Now, I mentioned that gap in the forecast between the northern system and the southern system, and what that could potentially create is kind of a sharp cutoff in snowfall totals, with 3 to 6 inches expected up along US 10 through Wright Hall, Fremont, and then extending over through Lakeview, 1 to 3 inches for the greater Grand Rapids region, and then possibly some lower amounts to the south. It's our southern zone that I still have some uncertainty surrounding what your snowfall totals will be. If we do end up seeing those two systems merge, our snowfall totals will be closer to that 1 to 3 inch mark that we're seeing right along the 96 corridor. So that's something that we need to keep watching as we head throughout the next 24 hours here. Lakeshore boundary temperature-wise today, 24 degrees for Ludington, 27. Wind reports that we have this morning at 53 miles per hour in Grand Rapids, 55 in Muskegon, 61 in Holland. We do have some unofficial reports from people's personal weather stations that are much higher than that. So we're kind of waiting to see if the National Weather Service approves those or not. Regardless, very windy night. Winds have calmed down substantially this morning, sustained out of the north and west at about 5 to 15 miles per hour now. The chilly side will be in the teens this morning and then into the mid-20s this afternoon. This comes underneath mostly cloudy conditions. Good news is that winds are much calmer throughout the day today than yesterday, sustained at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. We are talking about weekend chances for snowfall tomorrow, though, mainly along and north of the 96 corridor in terms of impactful snowfall. Sunday features cloudy conditions, a high temperature of 28. Really nice, quiet Super Bowl Sunday forecast. When it comes to that Saturday snow outlook, though, coming up here in just about 6 minutes, we'll talk about snowfall totals and who this system might miss completely.
Good girl.
Is there any dog that doesn't like going on car rides? I don't think that's
Mine.
a dog.
Mine.
Your dogs?
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
They pant the whole time like, get me out of
No,
this
I think they're
thing.
just
I can't be
excited.
here.
Wow.
No,